Since 1997, the IIHF has honored the greatest contributions to international hockey, an honor that's recognized in a special section of the Hockey Hall of Fame in Toronto, with trophies, memorabilia, and the list of those inducted into the International Ice Hockey Federation Hall of Fame. Now in its third decade, that list grows by 6 more names today.
Good afternoon. Hyvää iltapäivää. Welcome to Tampere, Finland, the host of the gold medal game and the bronze medal game for the 2022 World Hockey Championship and this year's IIHF Hall of Fame inductions. This is the 25th anniversary of the first induction class in 1997. Sadly, in 2000 and 2001, we were not able to hold this ceremony, but I'm delighted that the class of 2020 finally gets its moment in the sun. Now, normally we try to make our inductees feel at ease, but I do want to say to all 6 of you, you've had 2 years to prepare your speech. We look forward to welcoming these 6 inductees whose careers in hockey span more than 50 years.
Und Tor! Die Schweiz gewinnt in der Verlängerung.
Back to Swift. Michael Swift on a breakaway. Swift in, shoots, scores! Their first ever goal at the top level of the World Hockey Championship.
Goed gedaan door Nederland. Livingston. Berteling door de benen van de doelman. Net geen 7 minuten op de klok.
Ja Timonen vetää, ja sinne menee! Näin Suomen ylivoima toimii, ja Kimmo Timonen tulittaa 2-2 ajassa.
At the best of times, the job of IIHF president can be challenging. And unfortunately, as we all know, the last couple of years have not been always the best of times. Last September, Loicq Tardif was elected president of the IIHF amid challenges from within the hockey world and outside it. He's met them with determination and confidence. To begin our ceremony today, please welcome the 14th president of the IIHF, Loicq Tardif.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I must admit that I always loved this ceremony because I think if we have an idea where we want to go, we need to remember where you're from. And congratulations to the inductees. Welcome for all of you in the International Ice Hockey Federation Hall of Fame.
So let us begin. This is the year of the defenseman. In our player category, all 3 are blue liners. About time they got recognized instead of all the high-scoring forwards and goalies. Kimmo agrees with me. In 1997, when this man began playing for Switzerland internationally, they were not necessarily always in the top division. In fact, they were in the B pool his first year. But since then, Switzerland has become a mainstay of the top division, not just to stay there, but to compete for medals. When records are broken, it's a great chance to salute the new person, but also remember the person who came before him. When Switzerland's Andras Ambuel stepped on the ice for Switzerland's first game at this World Championship, he broke the record for most World Championships played, with 17. But the previous record was held by Mathias Seger, who for decades was a mainstay of the Swiss national team.
From Flaville, Switzerland, Mathias Seger. He's one of the true legends of Swiss hockey, a durable defenseman and leader who had a great career spanning 2 decades as a pro and internationally. Mathias Seger represented Switzerland at the World Junior Championships in 1996 and 97. The following year, he was invited to play for the A team. Just as the Swiss rose to the top pool of international hockey, Seger would go on to set an IIHF record, playing in 16 World Championships between 1998 and 2014. As a pro, he had 3 years with SC Rapperswil before moving on to the Zurich Lions, where he would play 17 more, winning 6 national championships. Seger also holds the distinction of wearing the Captain's C at the World Juniors, World Championships, and the Olympics, where he represented his country 4 times. But the greatest highlight came at the 2013 Worlds, when the Swiss captured the silver medal, their best showing in nearly 80 years. A great teammate and leader, leaving an enduring legacy for Switzerland. Mathias Seger.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our first inductee in the class of 2022 from Switzerland, Mathias Seger.
Oh no, I got my speech in a jacket. No, yeah, Mr. President, dear nominees, dear IIHF family. As a kid, I always dreamed about to play once for Switzerland in the World Championship. Now I could do it like 16 times, always this well-organized tournaments. It was always a great pleasure to play against the best, and always a big motivation. But on the other side, you always learn about other countries, about other livings, and yeah. But I still never understand the Finnish language still. But yeah, I'm really proud to stand here and also to get into the IIHF Hall of Fame with all these great members. But I also know that I would not stand here without all the teammates I had. So because that's one of the greatest things in our sport, that not the best individual wins. It's always the best team is winning. And that's why first I want to thank to all my teammates, especially my friend Mark. It was a pleasure to have this journey also with you. I want to thanks to all the coaches. I want to thanks to Swiss Ice Hockey Federation, and I want to thanks to the fans, to friends, and also especially to my family who always was supporting me, and also to my lovely wife Nina, who came a little late today, but but yeah, thank you very much, and also congratulations to all the other inductees. Thank you.
I've been hosting this ceremony for a long time, and congratulations on giving your speech when it was sitting over there in your jacket pocket. Well done. So we've inducted lots of teammates, fellow countrymen, but I don't know if we've ever inducted a defense pair before. We're doing that now, staying with our Swiss theme. Consider this in the National Hockey League, the impact that Swiss players are making. 6 of the top 7 Swiss scorers of all time in the NHL are currently playing in the NHL. The one who isn't was the trailblazer, defenseman Mark Streit.
From Englisburg, Switzerland, Mark Streit. He was arguably the greatest Swiss player of all time. Mark Streit began his professional career with Freiburg of the Swiss National League. He represented his country at the 1996-97 World Junior Championships and later joined the national A team, playing in his first of many World Championships. He won a Swiss League title after transferring to the Zurich Lions in 2000, where he'd spend 5 seasons before trying the NHL. All the while, Streit continued to star at the World Championships and also played in 4 Olympic Winter Games, his first in 2002. 2 years later, he became one of the oldest players ever selected in the NHL draft when Montreal chose him in the 9th round. Streit went on to a brilliant 12-year NHL career, winning the Stanley Cup with Pittsburgh in 2017. But he was always ready to help his country when he could. He played in 13 World Championships and enjoyed a national team career that lasted more than 2 decades. A giant among Swiss hockey stars, whose impact is still felt even since he retired. Mark Streit.
Please welcome to the IIHF Hall of Fame from Switzerland, Mark Streit.
I don't know if 2 years is enough to prepare for a speech like this, but Matthias, my friend, set the bar high, so try to do my best. Dear President, dear IIHF, dear guests, dear families, thank you very much for electing me into the Hall of Fame. I'm truly honored and so proud to be with those great members already been elected in the Hall of Fame. I'd like to thank the Swiss Ice Hockey Federation for giving me the opportunity to play many World Championships and Olympic Games, making great experiences and unique moments. Sharing this weekend with my family, with my wife, Fabienne, my 2 daughters, Josephine and Victoria, my sister Priska, is unique for me and the best that can happen. Thanks a lot for your support. I love you very much. I'm really happy you made the trip, and we can live this moment together as a young family. After retiring from hockey, you know, it's a rough time. You quit one of the loves you have in your life, playing hockey, and it's number one in your life. That's what you do every day. Thanks to me, I got to meet my wife at the end of my career, and we had 2 lovely children. So priorities shifted, and I'm a family man, I'm a proud dad, and I enjoy every moment of it. I'd like to thank also my 2 friends and agents, Doug Honecker and Pat Brisson, for guiding me along the way, giving me great advice and supporting me. For many, many years, kind of the anchor of our family, my parents, they supported me all the way, gave me advice, showed me the right values, be respectful, humble, and follow your dream. Unfortunately, they're not here anymore, but I know somewhere they're here, and they're taking notice. What a true honor I get today. My sister Priska, she's here, supporting me, and always been there for me. I mean, we went through a really difficult time the last few years, and I'm really thankful for her support, and she's here with me today. Thank you very much. For me, it was also always a great privilege to play this sport. And one thing is for sure, Mathias mentioned it before, you can't do it on your own. You need your support, you need your families, you need your wives, your girlfriends, but your teammates, coaches, and staff members. Without them, you're nothing. And that's the beauty of our sport. It's a team game. We're a big family. And I think yesterday at the games, you can feel that everybody's together, all the fans, all the players. We saw some great games, and this is the best sport I can imagine. I'm really thankful that for such a long time I was able to do it. Thank you very much for this honor. I'm flattered. I'll never forget this moment. And congratulate to all your great careers and all you've done for hockey. And I wish you a great day today, and hopefully 2 great games with the right winners, Kimmo. Thank you very much.
I've been very fortunate for nearly 30 years to call some great moments in international hockey. Gold medal wins, fantastic goals, brilliant saves. One of the highlights for me was from the World Championship a couple of years ago when I was able to call the first ever goal by Korea in the top division. You may have seen the celebration of the Korean Federation president in the introduction video. Not long after that, at the 2018 Olympic Winter Games in Pyeongchang, we saw a spectacular hockey competition. Overtime in the men's and women's competition, but more than that, we saw 2 of the most iconic moments we've seen at the Olympics. The Korean men's team, at the end of their tournament, bowing to their coach, Jim Pak, which brought tears to the eyes of the thousands of spectators. But most of all, the arrival of the Korean women's team from the north and south. A historic moment in those games and in history. None of that is possible without this inductee in the builder category, Mong-Won Chung.
From Seoul, Korea, Mong-Won Chung. He's been a hockey fan for more than 30 years, and back in 1994, he had the idea to start a team that would later be known as Anyang Halla. Anyang would go on to win 5 Asia League titles and consistently provided the national team with talent that led to a promotion to Division 1A in 2011. Chung became president of the Korean Ice Hockey Federation in 2013. He hired former NHLers Jim Pak and Richard Park to run the men's program. And at the 2017 World Championship Division 1A, Korea finished second, earning an historic promotion to the top level for the 2018 Worlds. They had reached the inclusion of both men's and women's teams for the 2018 Olympics in Pyeongchang, hiring the respected coach Sarah Murray to run the women's program. In one of the most powerful political moments in Olympic history, Korea's women's team consisted of players from both North and South Korea. This historic unification and the inclusion of men's and women's teams from Korea in the Olympics could never have happened without the steadfast resolve of Mong-Won Chung.
Please welcome to the IIHF Hall of Fame in the Builder category from Korea, Mong-Won Chung.
Good speech. First of all, I want to thank God for all his blessings. And many thanks to President Loicq and IIHF for arranging the ceremony. This is a great honor to me, and I want to share this honor with my players, staff, and the friends of Korean hockey. Also, I'd like to congratulate my fellow class of 2020 inductees for the contribution of their contribution to the world of hockey. This ceremony was postponed 2 times, so I thought it was never happening. So you can imagine how happy I am to be here today. When I heard the Hall of Fame announcement, I was overwhelmed with joy and excitement. And after a while, I began to reflect what hockey meant to my life. My hockey life started in 1994, when a group of young employees suggested making a hockey team. After internal review, we accepted their suggestion, and the Anyang Halla team was born. One of the employees who suggested the idea is with me today. Thank you, Mr. Yang, for leading me into this invaluable and a little expensive adventure. When my friends heard I was starting a hockey team, they were afraid I was being dragged into being unpopular sport. Contrary to their belief, however, I fell in love with the game. Watching the game rejuvenated my energy. It was my peace of mind. I loved it so much, I continued to sponsor our hockey team even during the Asian financial crisis in 1997. And later in 2008, it was a source of my energy when buying back our major company, Mando, from after recovering from the financial crisis. Hockey and business have many things in common. They both require speed and intuition, and most of all, good teamwork. So it has influenced my management philosophy a lot. For instance, our company launched an autonomous test vehicle. We named it Hockey. And our petrol robot, Goalie. So you can say hockey is my life. I served as the president of the Korean Ice Hockey Association for 2 terms, 8 years in total. It was a challenging path, which was filled with despair and happiness, and at the same time, a series of enlightenments. Hockey has a very steep learning curve, where we need a lot of experience with the top teams to move on to the next phase of the curve. And with the help of our friends, Korea Hockey followed this curve meticulously. We moved up from 33rd to 16th place in the IIHF ranking. We were promoted to the top league in 2017. And on our spot in the 2018 Winter Olympics. In addition, our women's team represented a unified Korea, opening the door for the dialogue between South and North Korea, promoting peace in the region. We didn't win any games, but we gained a valuable experience and insight. I also felt like we returned the favor to the older friends who helped us. Finally, I want to express special thanks to IIHF and its council members for the support they have provided so far. They are wise and considerate mentors to Korean hockey. Thank you so much. Last but not least, I want to close by dedicating this honor to my wife. She's a true hockey mania. Without her approval, I couldn't have loved hockey as much as I love her. Thank you.
Thank you. The IIHF encompasses 82 different federations, from the powerhouse nations that compete for gold medals every year to nations that compete in lower-level tournaments where their wins and losses are just as exhilarating and heartbreaking, and where their careers in the game are just as rewarding, even though they don't live in the spotlight as much. To recognize some of those players, a few years ago, the IIHF inaugurated the Bibi Torriani Award, named after one of the true pioneers of the game.
He played for the Swiss in the 1928 Olympic hockey competition in his hometown of St-Moritz, winning a bronze medal. Torriani also took part in 7 World Championships for Switzerland in the 1930s, winning 4 medals. Along with Hans and Pic Catini, Torriani played on the celebrated Nye line on the Swiss national team, one of the most famous and productive forward lines of the early era. In 1948, the Olympic Winter Games returned to his hometown of St-Moritz, and Torriani was given the honor of taking the Olympic athlete
So when we think of hockey, we don't necessarily think of Holland right away, but we should, because historians will tell us that the Dutch gave us one of the most indispensable pieces of equipment for hockey, skates. Now, I don't know if Ron Berteling had steel blades tied to his wooden shoes while skating on the canals of Amsterdam. I doubt he did, but he had a long and productive career in the game. And while many players have had great accomplishments, he's the only one I know of who's been knighted by his royal family. The winner of this year's Bibi Torriani Award from Holland is Ron Berteling.
From Amsterdam, Netherlands, Ron Berteling. To the Dutch, he is simply known as Mr. Ice Hockey. His career started at age 19 in the domestic league, first with Amsterdam, then the Rotterdam Pandas. At age 21, Ron Berteling helped the Netherlands finish first in Pool B, earning their promotion to the 1980 Winter Olympics and the top-level World Championship the next year, their only appearance at either in the past 70 years. In the lower pools, he averaged more than a point a game. From 1983 to 93, he was the Dutch captain at the Worlds 9 times and is his country's all-time leader in games played with 213, respected by teammates and opponents alike for his skill and sportsmanship. After retiring, Berteling turned to coaching. He's led the Amstel Tigers franchise for many years, winning the national championship 5 times, and has also been involved in the national team and developing youth hockey throughout the country. No one has done more for hockey in the Netherlands than Ron Berteling.
Ladies and gentlemen, this year's winner of the Bibi Torriani Award from Holland, Ron Berteling.
I have to find my speech. It's not on paper, it's on my phone. Okay. Tampere, making miracles. Standing here is part of my own miracle. My hockey life was and still is a miracle. We talked with the inductees yesterday. I have to put 58 years of my hockey life into 3 minutes. We might go into overtime. It's an absolute honor being inducted to the Hall of Fame. I want to thank the Dutch Ice Hockey Federation and the International Ice Hockey Federation. A big thank you to you. I also want to thank my late parents for giving me the freedom to choose my favorite sport. My former teammates, the coaches I played for, the players I coached myself, the trainers, and of course, and not last, the players I played against. As a young kid in Amsterdam, growing up in Amsterdam, my idol was Johan Cruyff, the late Johan Cruyff, who we still consider the best player ever. My hockey idol was not the legendary Bobby Hull. My hockey idol was Jos Bles. Jos was my mentor on the ice, my go-to person off the ice. We go back also 58 years, and we still see each other 2 or 3 times a week. The persons I just mentioned are the persons that made me the person who I am today. I also want to think and start where my journey started. My hockey journey started on an outdoor rink in Amsterdam. There was only one rink in Amsterdam. It was in 1964. And after my first, say, so-called hockey practice, I became a huge hockey fan. As a junior player and as an adult player, you have your highlights. You always have your highs and lows. I definitely had my highs, and I certainly also had my lows. As a junior player in Amsterdam, I lost my first official game against Tilburg. As a coach, I was 55 years old, and I was coaching the team of Amsterdam, and I was forced to play one more game, one more official game at the highest level. We played against the team of Heerenveen, and guess what? We lost that game too. But during that game, being on the same line playing with my son, that was definitely one of the highlights of my hockey career. I'm very happy that my hockey career continues. I'm now coaching the Dutch national under-20 team, and I'm on the ice with my 8-year-old grandson, who's playing for the under-9 Amsterdam Tigers team. I was a hockey fan. I am a hockey fan, and I will always be the young-hearted hockey fan supporting our hockey in the Netherlands. In the Netherlands, we do have a hockey history, and we're proud of it. Without hockey, you don't have no future. And we will continue to build our hockey, and we will continue to build our history. I think, and with all your support, hockey is the best sport in the world. I thank you very much.
For more than a decade, the IIHF has honored those who make an exceptional contribution to international hockey. The award is named after Paul Loicq, one of the early presidents of the IIHF and an early trailblazer in the game.
The award is named in honor of one of the most influential figures in the early days of international hockey. Born in Brussels in 1888, Paul Loicq was a veteran of both world wars and was a key figure in the development of hockey in the early 20th century. A player on the Belgian national team, he took part in the first Olympic hockey competition in Antwerp in 1920. Loicq then became a highly regarded referee, working international games for 17 years, officiating in 4 Olympics and 6 World Championships. He also founded the International College of Referees. While still an official, Loicq was elected the first IIHF president in 1927, a position he would hold for 20 years. Loicq was a key player in expanding the World Championship, making it an annual
of the 2016 Men's World Hockey Championship was the Team Hungary performance. Maybe more specifically, the performance of their fans, who electrified the arenas every time their team played. And when the games were over, win or lose, they sang the national anthem to their players, who lined up at the end and saluted their fans. They were unforgettable. And I'm glad to say that Hungary will be back in the top division next year, having been promoted this year along with Slovenia. All of this happens with a lot of hard work behind the scenes. And this year's winner of the Paul Loicq Award from Hungary is Zoltan Kovacs.
From Budapest, Hungary, Zoltan Kovacs. He has dedicated his life to Hungarian hockey. That dedication, in turn, has developed players across Europe through a strengthened Hungarian program and made the IIHF family even stronger. Zoltan Kovacs began his hockey career as a player in the domestic league with FDC Budapest. He would later devote his interest to the children and juniors who followed, ultimately leading to the role of General Secretary of the Hungarian International Hockey Federation. Under his leadership, Hungary would qualify for top-level IIHF events twice, participating in the World Championships of 2009 and again in 2016. He organized the youth of his nation with the goal of always producing more talent in the game. Looking to the future while paying attention to the past and the legends of Hungarian ice hockey. His ultimate goal, making it to the top pool and staying there. And then, something Hungary has never done, host a world championship. Zoltan Kovacs.
This year's winner of the Paul Loicq Award from Hungary, Zoltan Kovacs.
I'm happy that I got the goalie jersey because maybe the other not fit for me. So I have a little bit more kilograms than I was an active player. And you also saw that hockey game when I was playing. It was not my career, top of my career. It was two weeks ago with my colleagues. We play every Tuesday, Thursday, 7 o'clock. So that was about. And back to Paul Loicq Award. So I'm very proud that I can be here and I got this great award. I found at home in the newspaper from 1929, in the sport newspaper, which said Paul Loicq was in Budapest for the we were hosting the European Championship, and he was the referee and also he was the president of the IIHF that time. So he got some background also in Hungary, and we got some photos, but I cannot present at the moment. But I know that we have some historical guys who are really interested about this article, so I can send them. How was that? First of all, I would like to thank for my boss, Mr. György Suk, he's the president of the Hungarian Ice Hockey Federation, and also for Mr. Levente Sipos, who is the Hungarian Ice Hockey Federation General Secretary, for the nomination me to this award. I am very happy that they were thinking about me. Also, I would like to thank for the historical committee. I know quite more of them, and they are really nice guys, and we have so much good experience during the last 20 or 30 years. When I became a general secretary, it was in 1998, and my only wish was that time to open an indoor ice rink in Hungary because we were struggling. We were the country who has no indoor ice rink at that time, or maybe was one, but not a normal size. So my dream was if I can open one, I would be more than happy. That would reach my goal. But from that time, we had 800 registered players. We have 13 open rink. But today now we have 34 indoor rink and more than 8,000 players. I'm very proud to convince to play against Hungary, like national team of Canada, Sweden, Finland, Germany, Slovakia, and I don't mention it that when they came to Hungary for the exhibition game, we beat Finland and we beat Sweden on the game, but second game we got 8-1 and 7-0 or something like that. So, but the first time we were lucky and we can beat them. Now the Parkinson give me a challenge, but I have special thanks for my wife, Christina, children, Cornelia, Christina and Kolos, they are supporting me. And Hungarian people all the time was supporting IIHF. We were working in the IIHF different committees. It was starting with George Pastor, who was 99 years old this year. He's still in quite good shape. Maybe he will come one day. And after I follow him, I try to take his work. But I work in several committees in the IIHF still now. And now I'm very happy that we find Zsuzsi Kolbehelyer about 10 years ago, maybe more, and she was running to be a council, and I think she had excellent work in IIHF, especially in the women hockey, but I think she's a really best player in that. So thank you very much again, and congratulations for also other inductees. It is a great company. I just told to Berteling, Ron, that I was sitting on the Budapest Arena stairs watching him because it was a sold-out game, Hungary and Holland, and Ron was the team captain. And another interesting story that Zsuzsi Kolbehelyer husband, who is also with him now, he was a small boy and he was leading the Holland team on the ice with the flag. So we are knowing you quite much each other now. Thank you very much.
Congratulations. And now to our final inductee. If you travel the world of international hockey, your path will take you to Finland at some point, and often many points. And one of the first words I learned in Finnish and about Finns is sisu. It's hard to translate, apparently, but it means will, perseverance, dedication. We see it from Finnish teams all the time, and we see it from Finnish players, especially this inductee. In 2014, Kimmo Timonen was told that due to blood clots in his heart, or his lungs rather than his legs, he would not be likely to continue his NHL career. Less than a year later, when Chicago won the Stanley Cup and Captain Jonathan Toews accepted the trophy, he turned and handed it first to this man, Kimmo Timonen.
From Kuopio, Finland, Kimmo Timonen. He is one of the best defensemen his country has ever produced. Kimmo Timonen had been playing for Kalpa of the Finnish League when he was drafted by the NHL's Los Angeles Kings in 1993. But he stayed home for another 5 years, and throughout his career helped the Finns internationally many times. 2 World Junior Championships, 7 World Championships, 2 World Cups, and 5 Olympics, including 2006, when they went all the way to the final before losing to rival Sweden. The Olympic silver was a great achievement, but not the greatest of his career. Timonen had finally joined the NHL with Nashville back in 1998 and was a mainstay on the Predators' blue line for 8 seasons. Then 7 more with the Philadelphia Flyers. But after being diagnosed with blood clots and at the age of 40, he had just 1 more season, helping Chicago win the Stanley Cup, retiring as a champion. Kimmo Timonen.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the player category in the IIHF Hall of Fame, Finland's own Kimmo Timonen.
Mr. Zoltan, you were right. Jersey's kind of tight, or I could gain some weight, I don't know. But back to that story, 2014. You call it Sisu, my wife called me crazy. So that's a little bit different. But thank you, Court. Thank you, Luke Tardif. Thank you, IIHF, this great honor. Congratulations to the nominees. Great to see a lot of D-men in this group. Usually the forwards gets all the credit, so we take it this time. Congrats. I want to start my speech thanking my parents. You know, the love and support I got from you, I wouldn't be standing here without it. So thank you. The hockey memories we have experienced together since I started playing hockey 6, 7 years old, all the way up to 40-year-old. So there's a lot of big tournaments, a lot of NHL games, a couple World Cups, and you guys were always there. So thanks for supporting me and being there every step of the way. But all the good things has to end. So all the memories, what happens, this might be the last one. So Mom, I'm gonna order a big bottle of champagne today. We're gonna really enjoy it. So thank you. My own family, wife Johanna, you know, we've been together since early high school. So really, really, really long time. And I wouldn't change a day. Well, maybe a couple of days. But you raised our 3 kids, and while I was chasing my dream, and the everyday support I got from you, you know, I wouldn't be able to do what I did, and I wouldn't be standing here. So thank you. I love you, honey. Oh, Sam, my son here, keep chasing your dream. You play hockey here, and great to see you here. My 2 daughters back home, Amelie and Fiona. You guys are the brightest light in my life. And I do have to tell the story about my daughters because they're not the hockey people at all. So there's a story, 2015, I was in Chicago and Stanley Cup Finals were going, and I was going to Game 6. So probably winning Stanley Cup on the line, possibly my last game. And I was leaving the hotel room, giving Sam a hug, Amelie a hug. And then it was Fiona's turn, and Fiona said to me, Daddy, do I really need to go? I don't really want to see the game. I was like, wow. So my wife had to bribe her saying, okay, we're going to go shopping tomorrow. So problem solved. She came to the game. Yeah, so, but like I said, the teammates, we couldn't have done this without the teammates, good coaching staff, doctors, the trainers. They play such a big role in our lives. So thank you, all the coaches there. My old teams here in Finland, Kalpa, TPS and IFK, teams in America, Nashville, Philly, and then Chicago. The fans around the world. This game wouldn't be the same without the fans. We saw it yesterday at the Finnish game, and we will see it tonight. I miss the cheering, sometimes miss the booing. I get a little different booing at home nowadays, but I really miss it. And lastly, I want to thank the Finnish national teams and Hockey Federation. Obviously, I wouldn't be standing here without the Finnish national hockey team. I played, like I said earlier, I played plenty World Championships, lucky enough 5 Olympics, a couple World Cups. So what a ride, and I miss every moment of it. But what I want to tell you about the Team Finland, because a lot of times when I go back in America, people say and ask me, why Finland plays so well and do so well in big moments and big tournaments? And to me, it's kind of simple. We always have a good coaching staff. You need the talent to win big tournaments. But like I said, Mark and Mathias, it's the family atmosphere. The culture has been created years before my time. Then we came along, and now the new generation is keeping up the tradition of the family atmosphere. The respect we have each other in the locker room and the teamwork, it's always we first and then the individual efforts. But I miss the family atmosphere, so that's why I really do, that's why we separate from different countries, because we are sticking together. And you see it tonight, like Strider said, you know, the family atmosphere, the Finnish system is so tight, the friendship, the respect level is always there. So I miss those moments, but that's how we separate from different countries. That's my feel about it. And I want to mention one name in the Finnish hockey race, because Kalev Kummola was the leader of my time. So thanks, Kale, all the things you did for me and the Finnish hockey back in the day, and you're still doing it. So thanks, Kale. Also, I forgot to mention my brothers in earlier, Jussi and Tommy. They support me when that was needed. I'm going to end up my speech by reading a letter my son wrote. Remember this time? He was 10 years old, and why I'm reading it, because it had a big meaning to me. It's still hanging in my closet, so when I went to the game, I put my suit on. I read this letter or touched it or something like that, because I felt like it was a good charm, lucky charm for me. So it obviously had a big meaning to me, but there's a lot of hockey people in this room who can relate to this letter. And the letter goes like this. What I love about my dad. I love my dad because he's hardworking and respectful. He's always prepared for games, practices, and even tests when he was a kid. It's too bad that he's away a lot on hockey trips. One year he missed my birthday because one of his trips. And once he had to leave the day after Christmas. But most of the time he's home, and I like to play with him a lot when I have the chance to. I personally think he's the best dad in the world. Thanks, Sam, and thanks for this honor. And go Finland tonight.
Well done and well said. So we congratulate our inductees and welcome you into the International Ice Hockey Federation Hall of Fame. And as Kimmo said, we will hear roars today at the two games in the arena. To the fans of hockey, it hasn't been the same without you, and it's way better with you. And what we've heard here in Helsinki and Tampere this week and the last 2 weeks has been phenomenal. Throughout this tournament and through the 2 games today, the teams will play hard. They'll play intense hockey. They'll exchange hard words with each other and sometimes with the officials. But when it's over, they'll shake hands, congratulate each other, wish each other well, and look forward to meeting again in the spirit of international competition, friendship, and we hope soon, peace. Thank you very much, and we'll see you at the games tonight.